Take a look. Saw this man away.
Standard flex pick in the meta right now. Nasty champion. Kha'Zix being bent out. Honestly, Kha'Zix is kind of underrated in my opinion. One of those snowbally early game champs that gets the lead, especially in this elo. People know how to utilize the champ. It's be really good. Riven taking off the board. OP champ. I don't care what you one trick say. Champion is disgusting.
Funny enough, the top laner for Recon 5, Inaban, was all Riven main. Lots of games on the Riven here. We see Renekton picked up for steal in the top lane. Camille in response.
And Renekton overall looks like the Renekton Camille matchup is kind of very one-sided for pretty much 30 minutes of the game until Camille gets that 3-item spike. It's all Renekton. Got some frosty jungles, you know? Ice Boy, Ice King.
Heavy roam into Talia here. Nunu capture those objectives really easily in the mid lane game.
What I'm seeing on red side is heavily leaning towards a pick comp. Now, that could be either really good or really well. Really good or really bad, rather. Where if a pick comp gets ahead, it's almost impossible to walk into your own jungle without just getting destroyed. But if you fall behind, on the other hand, kind of hard to burst out character if you don't have any damage. So, also a Caitlyn, so got some late game insurance on that. Overall, screaming late game on the side of red side, and I'm seeing nothing but early game on blue side. So
yeah, especially with the Renekton pick. Okay, we have a lovers duo bot lane here, the blue team, and also going to be picked up in response. Okay, everything's pretty standard this game.
Standard in a matter of other than tentacle monster I see in the red side. See, Vel'Koz is a champion that is not seen very often because it's a high skill, in my opinion, high skill champ. But on the other hand, you know, if you can utilize this champion, it's almost deadly. Where you hit that one knockup and an entire character's health bars gone in an instant with all that true damage, and with Nunu really being the only pure tank, that could spell disaster for blue side before they could even say oops.
Right. Like this Trundle pick into the Nunu is going to work out really well for him. Yeah. Isaiah scales pretty well into the late game. Renekton's going to fall off. Talia roams might help a bit.
Yeah, it's all a matter of whether or not the top lane can get rolling, because doing a Renekton, that's a lot of gank setup, but 2v2 wise, I'm still gonna have to give it to blue side. Just the power of Renekton compared to the Camille. I don't want to say lack of power, but just inability to do much damage early in the game, unless you know you get the advantage on that.
Right.
Also, I'm not too keen on this mid lane matchup. It just looks like who can shove the lane and then roam faster.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Vel'Koz is probably going to be taking the Glacial Element build. It's the only really thing I see on Vel'Koz nowadays. And Talia, with her ultimate, should be able to get around the map faster though than the Vel'Koz should.
In essence, yeah. The only problem with that is, well, Trundle is a really early game centric jungler and Talia doesn't have very much escape, so if Vel'Koz can walk up, get that slow, get the knock up, it's almost a guaranteed double summoner gone from Talia. So it's all a matter of what lane this Trundle decides to prioritize. If he chooses to go help out that Camille and try to make it survive, then I think every other part of the map just needs to play to scale like their team comp is designed. But who knows, maybe every lane gets an advantage and everything we say here means nothing. So whole part about League of Legends analysis. speaking of win lane win game, lovers duo bottom. That's a dangerous combo into Caitlyn Alistar, because if Recon dashes forward and gets pulverized, he's gonna get Caitlyn trapped, knocked back. It's gonna be very nasty for that Recon if it's incorrect. So
seeing Alistar as a counter pick to that lane very consistently. So.
And Caitlyn overall is a champion that really doesn't care about anything in the bot lane. She wants to poke out her lane opponent and then scale to 2 to 3 items.
Right, yeah.
And Xayah just wants to fight constantly with her lane opponent because of the power she has with the sheer amount of feathers, and she can dish out early game. It's really dangerous into anything except for really Caitlyn. So I like the Caitlyn pick coming out here. Not extremely meta, but in the right circumstance, I think great. Overall, like.
Yeah, what do you think about both the drafts overall?
Yeah, I'm gonna give the advantage until about 20 minutes to blue side. I like Trundle and Nunu as champions. With champions getting nerfed and the jungle meta being what it is, which is a cluster where almost any champ can get played, I really like Trundle coming back in to try to counter out and really take control of the early game like he did so very soon. Or so very long, not long. You know, words are hard sometimes, but at the end of the day, Trundle's great at jungling. And Nunu is also a great farming jungler. See, that's why I think this game is dictated on the junglers. It's gonna be who can impact which lane more significantly. I think it all comes down to this top lane. Like, if you can gank this top lane and get one snowballing ahead, get that split push threat on either the Camille or the team fighting presence of a Renekton early game, I think that's the win conditions.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to agree. The Camille does scale harder than the Renekton early game, I think, but if the Renekton gets an early lead, he really gets to take over the game and will be a huge threat in the mid-game team fights especially, so that's something to look out for.
League of Press the Attack coming out of Red Sid. 3 Press the Attacks. Seems all pretty standard though, so. Overall, what I'm looking to see from each jungler is just the Nunu trying to get as deep a vision as he possibly can, because Nunu is a champion known for getting his small advantages early with that Q consume, but we got a fight going on against this Vel'Koz not liking that early game damage.
Vel'Koz taking a lot of poke there from this Leah there. Blue side is able to pick up this ward onto red team's Raptors.
Yeah, you'll come to find Vel'Koz is not a very good champion until level 3, until he can level up that knock-up, get that true damage coming out, guaranteed almost.
Renekton's gonna walk through this bush, steps into the Camille. Some auto attacks going down.
That's not gonna do much.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, Renekton's just gonna gain some fury and get all that health back.
Renekton heal is massive for sure.
You know, one of the reasons why he's such an oppressive champion is you can poke him out so much till the point where he just dashes in, stuns you, does half your health, and then heals for half of his health. Kind of feels bad. It looks like we have wards on both sides of the jungle, so they should know where junglers are starting. Nunu's pathing towards his Krugs, which spells out to me that this might be a level 2 gank bottom. But seeing that they have the ward on red, I don't think that is possible.
I really think. You know, a lot of junglers might not be used to the scuttle timers change yet. Maybe he's just accustomed to going to Krugs. I feel like he might try for this gank bot lane. We'll see what he does.
Doesn't look like he's pathing. So overall, I think this Nunu, from what it looks like, is just going for the standard full clear back get jungle item and then gank at level 3 to 4.
Yeah, I assume he wants to get strong enough to the point where he can maybe solo this dragon. You know, Q consumes mine. Does a lot of damage, so.
Right now, you can see this Trundle has a really really high tempo advantage going on. He has already killed 3 camps compared to just the 2. Nunu's just now finishing up his 3rd camping the Raptors. But Trundle seems to be invading the
Trundle on his blue side.
Might have a fight here. Depending on whether Nunu
Slides it
face
away.
checks.
I don't really think Nunu can contest him here. Trundle's gonna look to get this gang top lane.
Seems Renekton has his mini map off.
Would seem so. And he's coming with the Sobel here. Flash out from Trundle, hits the Q, and Renekton's gonna go down. And you can't really do anything about this gang.
Okay, well, he clearly saw him. Looks like the action is not done.
That's gonna continue, fight over the, oh, yeah, Consume Smite, able to take that Skittle Crab away. He's gonna roll it away from the Trundle.
Hey Trundle, you know all that damage he did? Nah.
Yep, and he is out of there. Trundle probably gonna continue invading this jungle. Nunu is really low here. He's gonna contest the wolves? No.
That's just the power of the early game Trundle, as I was saying before. Just that Q shredding their AD. That's so imperative to early game skirmishes to any jungler. You could be Elise, and that early AD is just super important. There's Renekton doing Renekton things.
Yep.
So half his HP gone.
Easy trades.
Feels bad. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, but kind of expected for this Renekton Camille matchup. Maybe an Ignite coming in to really solidify that advantage, but team play, super important. That teleport, probably second strongest summoner spell in the game, next to Flash.
Yeah.
The ability to affect the entire map at almost an instant is super important.
Surprised the Valkaz didn't go for Facial Argument here. He went for the combat instead. I guess he just wants to poke in lane and a bit more of burst potential.
Yeah, definitely more of that's unfortunate for the Camille. You know, he's just trying to hang on to the wall, but clobbered. Now, the CS dispense. Wow, let me retry that. The CS differential top lane is already starting to rack up. Granted, that wave is crashing, but Camille is not a big fan of farming under the tower early levels.
Yeah. I mean,
That
that's
Q
just
cooldown.
the early pressure of the Renekton. Easily able to zone out enemy laners from CS. You know, you step up for 1 CS, and Renekton trades with you for half your HP. So,
But it won't be all game. It'll get to the point where Camille can just out-sustain with the items that she can build, and Renekton as a champion is all about those base damages, so we'll see if this Camille can take that early gank that she got and try to get an advantage.
trade in here into the top lane. Stuns coming out from both players. Renekton does not die though. Taken out really low by this Camille.
I don't see Renekton dying here. The reason he won that trade was just strictly because of timing. Renekton is a champion centered around cooldowns and needs those cooldowns to do anything. He's an ability-based champion, but wait, we gotta...
Got hit by the Valkaz. Barriers comes down from the Talia, but it's not gonna be enough. She's gonna go down. Another fight skirmish here on blue side jungle. 2v3. We see Jinx. Oh, Caitlyn.
I don't...
The blast bang, get a jungle to safety. Another fight. Oh, happening in the top lane. Both players pop the ultimate.
Looks like this blue side is caught between a rock and a Trundle.
This fight just doesn't end.
Skirmishing upon skirmishing. Han goes down.
Got
Xayah
2
soon to
hits.
follow.
Xayah's so low here. She gets slowed from Valkaz. I think she's just gonna go down for sure. Yeah, she's dead.
This is looking quite disastrous as this late game scaling team comp is now almost 2,000 gold ahead 7 minutes in.
And with that skirmish, they're gonna look to pick up this mountain Drake, which is only gonna help them solidify their lead.
Yeah, other than the obvious.
Camille trading onto the Renekton here. He's definitely gonna go down here. Overstaying a little too much onto the top side.
Other than the obvious fact The reason that was just so heavily one-sided is that solo kill that happened in the mid lane. Vel'Koz could just come to that fight almost instantly, whereas, you know...
Talia no teleport, has to walk all the way back to lane. Not able to get there in time, and her team suffers for it.
Yeah, Talia not being able to roam is probably one of the biggest factors of the early game differential. Talia just needs to roam, needs to get out of that mid lane.
He's gonna get this route into the Camille here. She does trade back. Oh wow. Able to trade all the damage she just took back. Trundle goes onto this Talia now. She doesn't have the barrier, not gonna meet it though. Pushes
This
him
is
back.
dangerous for Talia though. She has no mana.
She's gonna get pincered by this Camille here, I think. Nunu's here to back her up, but okay, Flash comes out. It's a slow.
But is it actually dangerous for the Camille?
Flash comes out from the Camille as well. Her team's there to back up. Gets knocked back from the Talia. Being able to pick that one up for himself.
And that is worse than what it seems in just a free 300 gold over. Renekton is just going to keep getting that CS advantage, going to push that tower, and Camille has no TP. So that 30 CS lead is going to actually start to matter if we see a skirmish going on bottom again. Maybe Renekton can get that advantage and bring that power that he has on the top lane, try to help out other lanes. Because if Renekton can't affect the other parts of the map, then Renekton essentially just becomes a glorified, like, worse tank.
So Leah gets this roam onto the Caitlyn here, hits a knockback, but she's not going to get knocked up from the Recon. I don't think they have the damage to push this one out. No, they do not. Heal comes out from Caitlyn. She's able to escape that gank easily.
Yeah, the Talia wall being used to get there is not the ideal usage. Right. You want to use that wall to block off pass, blow a flash, make it worth it. But at the end of the day, all it was used for is 100 mana donated to the Rift Gods, I guess.
Summoner heal. Heal both that's nice.
In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't mean much considering this has been nothing but a farmland, bottom lane other than that skirmish.
Yeah. Nunu might be looking for this flank here with this bot lane.
I think this could be very dangerous, but Caitlyn does have her flash up. If played correctly, I think it's even possible to win this.
I'm gonna go onto the Alistar. He pops his ultimate, breaks out of the snare. By focusing down the alley, not really looking at the Caitlyn. Absolute Zero comes out for the slow. Alistar is definitely gonna go down here.
Sacrificed himself. Yeah, see, that's just
the top side. Oh, I mean, it's so much damage to this Trundle. You might be able to play this 2v1 really well.
Cooldowns.
Cooldowns though. Subjugate comes out. Oh, wow, and that's Renekton things.
That is huge.
Able to get the slice and dice, shred that armor onto both the players. Picks him up with the Q. Through the Trundle Subjugate as well.
Vel'Koz is roaming top, but he's half HP. I don't know what he could really do. That's 4 plates now to this Renekton. There is... If you look to the gold grass, top lane, that is a 2,000 gold lead in just the Renekton. He is the sole reason why they're still in this game.
That's for sure. But I mean, we spoke about it during time select. Renekton, one of those champions that falls off, but when he gets that early lead, he can really steamroll a game. But will it be enough? I mean,
that's the biggest question.
All of his other team members don't seem to be doing too hot here. Bot lane is, you know, maybe about even. Alistar stepping up. Might look for the pulverize, and he does not.
Yeah, the biggest differential is with the gold leads is more fighting, just constant fighting in this top lane. That's what this Renekton needs to do. He just needs to push his advantages.
He wants to get this this Camille down gold as much as possible. Trundle's gonna look for this gank here onto the bot side. They might look for the dive here. Leading with Alistar, yeah, he'll pulverize onto Saya, but now Talia is here to help out. Both teleports come out. Flash away. Alistar's gonna go down to Talia here. Camille able to pick up the tower, but Renekton's here. Flashes onto the Caitlyn. She's going to go down to him. Yeah, slowly but surely. Subjugate comes out, gets a speed boost. He's out of there. More fighting coming down. Vel'Koz hits the ulti. Gets knocked up by Trundle Pillar, but Renekton stepping up a little too far there is going to get bursted down by Camille and Vel'Koz.
just constant fighting. It's tough that the Renekton went down, but just getting some kills, some pressure onto that bottom lane is the biggest thing. They just need to get more advantages other than that Renekton. Like we said countless times, Renekton cannot take that lead into the late game. He just has to hope to gift it to charity, being the teammates. The Drift King. Oh, the Drift King.
Moving it down, does not get the Drift King onto the Vel'Koz, but he is going to get rooted up here. He's going to go down. Alistar not able to get there in time.
Another huge shutdown.
We didn't get to touch on this, but thanks to Red Side winning that bot lane skirmish just now, they're able to pick up the Cloud Drake as well.
I would not say it's the best Drake for a team that wants to snowball. Or for a late game scaling team comp, it's great overall for, you know, the split pushing and being able to move back and forth, helping out that split pusher, but that's about it.
Right.
Honestly, what they really need is those mountains and those infernals like everybody wants, but now more than ever, being the late game scaling team comp, you just need basically free ways to scale, and those two Drakes really help in that matter. But to touch on that shutdown, and just the CS differentials between these solo lanes is kind of ridiculous at this point. It's kind of like a mirror. One is dominating the other, and at this point it's about who is less heavy, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, but I think it's the advantage has got to go to the Camille, but burning down.
Able to kill the Zaya here. Also pulverized this Recon earlier, but he's going to get away with the quickness.
There was no chance for the Zaya, no heal from the previous skirmish. Maybe could have flashed.
Yeah, probably could have flashed out.
It's just this Vel'Koz gets bigger and bigger.
He's only getting stronger now. Maybe Comet was the right choice here. Another thing I wanted to touch up on was the trade. Blue team traded Rift Heralds and put it mid lane in return for the Cloud Drake that was given to Red Side. And all it really did was take some turret plates mid lane. I think it netted them around 400 gold. I wasn't really looking, but Rift Herald is off the map now. I think gonna dive. This turret goes onto the Camille here, hits the stun. Nothing else is gonna follow.
Renekton at this point just needs to try to take his lead into the towers, open up the map. Well, we got a dive going on in the bottom lane.
Dives his WR, cancel that animation. Camille stun.
That wasn't a dive, that was murder. Yeah. There was no chance for that Camille.
No chance for her. Renekton is just
not even
too big.
At this point, I don't think anybody on the map could really match this Renekton. He's gonna back. I'm sure he's sitting on a lot of gold. Yeah, sitting on almost 2,000 gold. He's gonna be able to complete his Hydra item. He's got lifesteal sustained in that side lane, but we got another fight in the river. That Vel'Koz burning down the Nunu. It doesn't matter how much health, armor, magic resist you have. You're just doing true damage. Ooh, that flash was not enough.
So I able to bit the 3-man root, but she's left for dead here. She's gonna go down. Also picks up that kill for himself.
Yeah.
Red team winning more of these scrappy skirmishes in the jungle.
See, that's the thing. When you have Vel'Koz, Bundle, and Alistar, you're always gonna win skirmishes. It's just the nature of the champions. Alistar loves those not early, but small skirmishes where he can get those 2 to 3 man knockups fairly easily, and that's all Alistar really wants to do as a champion. And if Vel'Koz goes untouched, he's probably one of the best champs in the game. He does almost as much AoE to overtime damage as the Caitlyn will do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Vel'Koz is one of those champions. True damage comes out from his ultimate as well. So that's going to burn through a lot of blue team members here.
Yeah, so it's nearly impossible to be able to build against it. It's kind of like, what do you do on the side of Roman Esports? It's just, at this point, what you need to honestly do is flash onto the Vel'Koz and hope for the best. Hope that, as the Renekton rather, you just need to flash onto the, and hopefully you can trade that 1-for-1, take your advantage.
Alistar hits the flash onto the Zaya, but not able to get the stun in time. Camille comes in onto this backline. Zaya taking a lot of damage. Talia gets knocked up by Vel'Koz. Kellen's gonna ulti here, not gonna find the target, but Vel'Koz will pick her up. They're gonna keep pushing this mid lane. They did take the mid tier 2 earlier.
You're never safe. You think you got away. damn, I lived with 100 HP. That was close. And then all of a sudden you're being disintegrated by something that is only out of your horrors or incognito browser histories. Like,
That's what you want to call it.
It is scary to play against the Fed Vel'Koz, needless to say. And with both sums up, it's... Unless you hard misplay on this Vel'Koz, I don't see how you die on this champ. You got the peel with Alistar, you got the peel with Trundle. Every champion, it seems impossible.
Right.
Unless you hard misplay, I don't see how you die on at this point.
Gonna go ahead and take a look at the gold graph here. About 3,500 gold up from this Vel'Koz, from the Taliyah. About 1,200 gold for the Caitlyn from the Xayah. It's about even in the jungle, only a 300 gold difference. And top lane, another big difference, about 3,600 gold to the Renekton. So
yeah, the story reigns true at this point. 30 CS advantage on that Caitlyn. Caitlyn has done her job. She's gotten the CS advantage. She's gotten almost to her second item. It's honestly at this point, unless there's a miracle team fight or some pick that ends up happening, I don't see how Roman Esports wins this. It's everything that could have gone right went right on the side, but we
here into the jungle. No kills are going to be picked up, but both teams seem to be chunked here a little bit. Vel'Koz is going to be looking for more subs a little too far here. He's not going to get punished for it.
That's another problem for the Taliyah in this aspect. She's so short-ranged, and Vel'Koz is the exact opposite. Vel'Koz is a long-range artillery champion, and disses out damage from so far away, whereas Taliyah has to get up, get that knock-up, get those Qs in, where kind of feels really bad, especially when you're 1 in 4. You can't just sit back and dish out the damage. You have to get in there. And
right.
Got another pick.
Hellboat pulverizes the Recon, but he's going to dash away to safety.
Yeah, this is just tragic. In my opinion, it's just so many options could go right for red side, and not many can go right for blue side. It's just very tough. But you never know what could happen, you know? Something could, out of nowhere, spark something that they get a numbers advantage, but that won't do it.
Nunu's gonna get pulverized, knocked up by the Vel'Koz. Yep, life form disintegration rate comes out. He's gonna get taken down really easy.
Base checking your jungle is not one of the things you should do at a disadvantage. That's something that you need to do with more than one member, but...
Dude, red team is not gonna look to go onto this Baron. Just killed the Nunu in his own jungle. Renekton's still splitting bot lane. Looking to dive the Camille maybe? It's a flash.
Turret aggro.
That's not turret aggro, but it doesn't
matter. I'm thinking that hit mattered.
Red team picks up the Baron here.
If they get their recalls off and Renekton doesn't get this inhib, that's completely worth it. You know, Camille could trade as many kills as he wants. Ooh, but Renekton goes close to going down here. I'm assuming to a Caitlyn ulti. Assuming that's
so much damage. One combo
almost
almost taking out.
My.
Recon hits the life from disintegration ray, able to pick up the Recon here. But now it's a 2v3 fight. Can they win this one? Vel'Koz not able to find the damage to kill the Nunu. But they keep walking forward. They want more.
There's so much.
He gets charged for half for HP. Oh, so he flashes the knockup. Vel'Koz not able to pick up that one.
This is ridiculous. This is the fact that this Vel'Koz and two characters can go against essentially the entire team that's not named Renekton
right.
of Roman. That just goes to show you, as I said in Champion Select, this Vel'Koz is such a
monster.
Yeah. In the matter of, if you know how to pilot the champion, it's one of the greatest. You know, it's the skill shot reliant champion. If you can hit him, you're gonna do all the damages. Whoa, I looked
Vel'Koz
weird.
really
Come
is
here.
doing the deeps this game.
Light
I'm
it
excited
up.
to look at the damage charts after this one.
How $1 million Vel'Koz does the most.
You
I
can
just
keep
won
that
$1
bet.
million. Thank you. At this point, the key for R5 to win this game is just going to the enemy jungle, clearing out their wards, and then getting constant picks. Just forcing that Renekton to come to you rather than having him in the side wave is your win condition at this point with the Baron. You just need to get one pick and essentially the entire base is gone.
Yeah.
Which it seems like that's what R5 is doing. They're gaining control of looks to be a mountain dragon, which is a great Drake when you're ahead.
Yeah, taking down these towers is going to be super easy for sure.
Especially with Caitlyn. Caitlyn is
Caitlyn's up really far here. That's our Alistar with her. It looks like red side is going to push in bot lane here and look to pick up the last outer turret.
Yeah, that... See, the thing is, you see how far ahead this Vel'Koz is, and then you look at the Caitlyn level versus the Renekton level, and you see a little glimmer of hope. It's like,
Right.
maybe if our super strong 2 levels above everybody Renekton get on the back line, maybe, just maybe, but you can't even walk up to this back line, let alone try to do anything to the front line. It's just the team comp of R5 coming into play, just the scaling. It's past 20 minutes now. Caitlyn's gonna be firing out artillery with that rapid fire cannon, and the headshot's gonna start doing half health. Vel'Koz, the only problem I see is really just mana bar of Vel'Koz. If he just... Oh, we got a
flash engage from Recon here. Talia ulti coming out. Gonna not going away here. Oh my Jesus. Vel'Koz comes up with the art.
Dead.
It absolutely shreds the entire enemy team with that light form disintegration ring. Pretty much taking out 3, maybe 4 members by himself.
Yeah, that's... Honestly, that was their only hope. That was the one chance they were going to get hard engaging onto the Vel'Koz, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when you just shred from true damage. Absolutely destroyed. Inhib taken. Seems that that's all we're going to get for now. Game's going to be extended a little bit longer, but that push was almost the final nail in the coffin. Caitlyn's going to almost have her second Zeo item at this point. Once you get the second Zeo item on Caitlyn, you're basically the strongest AD carry in the game. The only things that match is like maybe a Twitch, maybe a Cogmaw, 3 items, but...
Gonna go ahead and take a look at this gold graph again. Vel'Koz, 5,000 gold ahead of the Talia here. Renekton, very close up 4K, but it doesn't look like the Renekton late game is gonna be enough to take down this red team. The Vel'Koz is just too big. I mean, that last team fight, we saw the disintegration ray obliterate the entire front line and even some of the back line of the blue team here. So slow comes onto the Camille. She's able to hookshot away. This Baron's going to be up soon.
We're consistently talking about how strong this Vel'Koz is and how great this bot lane did for... Oh.
That's the dash forward. Push gets pulverized. He's facing down the barrel of this Vel'Koz, but he does not land the Q. He's able to get onto him. Hits the stun. Talia wall comes out. He's gonna find the damage. Vel'Koz goes down. This is really good for blue team now. The most valuable player is down. Absolute Zero comes out. Gonna slow the Trundle here, but he's not gonna go down.
Caitlyn's still alive. Vel'Koz might have died, but
yeah, Caitlyn's also really strong.
Flash ulti coming out from
forward.
Zaya.
Brood comes out, kills the Caitlyn, and they're gonna look to pick up this mid tower. Whatever Renekton's putting in bot lane is gonna look to pick up the red team's inhibitor as well.
That
a little glimmer of hope. Is that what you called it?
No, that's me. So the Vel'Koz going down is big. Talia got it, which is great. She's back on the board now. Getting that shutdown was humongous for her. Baron for blue team though.
Blue team looking to go in this Baron. It's not warded. I think they're just gonna take this one uncontested. Oh, red team's making their way over here.
But it's almost impossible to smite steal from a Nunu. Yeah, it's just gone, shredded.
Burst it down real quick.
Got a TP coming out.
They're gonna look to fight here. TP comes out from the Camille. It's knocked back. They're kiting away here. They're not gonna find the engage.
So that Baron does a lot for Roman. Basically, that's the life jacket for them. That's the gasp of air that they needed to be able to survive just a little bit longer into this game.
That's definitely gonna solve the game out a little bit longer. We'll see what advantage they can push with it. This Renekton able to pick up the kill onto the Vel'Koz with help of Talia, so if they get something like that again, perhaps they could claw themselves out of this hole.
It's a 3-level advantage.
Camille hook shot. Oh, this is gonna be
this is a perfect fight for the Vel'Koz.
Like when the Disintegration Ray comes out, able to kill the Renekton real easy.
If number 1 rule is never chase a Singe, number 2 rule should be never fight a Vel'Koz in the jungle. Vel'Koz is, like I said, a skill shot reliant champion, and if those AoE skill shots hit in those narrow passageways of the jungle, it's a done deal. It's no chance.
Blue team overextending into their own jungle there. I mean, they have no vision on any of the red side. If they step up so far.
As I was saying previously, before we got that fight going on in the bottom lane, we keep talking about everybody else except for who I think right now is one of the best performers on R5 is the Trundle. He was able to get such an early game advantage and get that Vel'Koz ahead.
Right.
Well, there was a lot of...
She might go down here. Pulverize comes out from Alistar, left from the situation pick, goes down, picks up Messiah. And we have a very scrappy team fight here again.
Nekton's still full HP.
Still full HP here. He's going to go into the Alistar. More scrappy fighting. Alistar able to knock him away. Goes onto the Vel'Koz, but I don't think he's going to find it. No, he is not. Red team needs to be a little careful here.
That is a feels bad for Renekton getting everybody below half HP, not having flash up. We know if he had flash up, he saw that quadra in his eyes.
Right.
Overall, not too bad. I mean, they did trade 3 for 1, which in the grand scheme of things isn't the greatest, but you are just stalling at this point. That's what R5 needs to do. They just need to stall and hope that you get that right fight. That was probably one of the best ones they were going to get.
Yeah, that fight was pretty good for them. I mean, they were going to lose the inhib, but they're going to lose bot inhib as well if they didn't fight there. And I'm sure R5 would have looked to close the game shortly after, so good on them.
R5 at this point needs to stop going for all these engages and needs to look to peel, because at this point Roman Esports is just desperate for anything, so they're gonna look to engage all the time. So the key for R5 is honestly just peeling for their super strong late game carries. I think it's almost a guaranteed team fight victory. Got more fights on the Renekton. Maybe where this guy goes.
Here gets knocked up, and life form disintegration ray comes out. Talia wall comes in to maybe. He's able to get away with the slice and dice. Talia wall helping them out a little bit there, able to bounce the Camille and the Alistar back.
I feel like there's a joke about that somewhere, but I'm gonna choose
I'm not going to make it. It's in bad taste.
But just another. Even though the GA went down, you build it for a reason. You build it so you don't die, and that's what the item just did. He didn't die, which is important. I think if Renekton goes down there, you lose bottom into him.
Yeah, for sure. They might...
Death timers for him he's almost level 18, so that means he almost has the max death timer. And at that point, it's almost 70 seconds. I think at 17, it's about 60 seconds. You could do a lot on the map in 60 seconds. You can gain a full map control with vision. You can push an entire lane. It's very scary late game looking for the pick, and That's another thing, is red team is a great pick. R5 wants to get that pick. They want to get that Vel'Koz knockup. Speaking of knockups,
Trundle gonna get displaced here, but he's too tanky. He's not gonna go down that easy.
round 2.
Alistar,
No
the
damage this
actual
time.
knockup here. Renekton able to pick up the kill onto the Camille, but Vel'Koz is here to meet him. He was able to melt through his health bar. His front line there to help him out. Good engage there from the Camille on the Alistar. Able to find the Renekton and pick him off again.
That's great for red team though. The main artillery, the main turret taker is now gone from R5. Just constant advantages that blue side keep on getting with this Renekton. It's just, at the end of the day, it's not enough. I think that's the story for this game, is not enough. Blue team always finds something that's good for them, but doesn't do enough. Bot side inhib just getting shredded.
Yep.
That's what that Vel'Koz late game damage is gonna do. Bunch of AP means turrets and inhibs are no more.
Alright, Kanon's back on the map here.
Got an Ocean Drake spawning, which at this point of the game doesn't mean too much, but a Drake is a Drake, and you're just advancing the Elder Drake spawn, which at
Blue
this
team's
point is what our fight should look like.
Pathing towards this Baron here.
I think
They're gonna try to
R5
melt it
knows
down?
they have a wood.
They haven't warded. Doesn't look like they're gonna start anything. They know Trundle was just on the Ocean Drake.
Yeah, they knew it was too risky. They knew that half the team was coming, and it might be half the team to them, or half the team for us, but half the team for them is almost imminent peace.
I mean, but I would argue they have to go for a play like that, or they're just gonna lose the game regardless. Unless this Renekton can find something else, some miracle play to claw his team out of here, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything anymore.
Then again, it's really tough for R5, because that Camille, who's supposed to be this late game monster, doesn't even have 3 items yet at
Yeah.
34.
Yeah.
So it's tough for them to do anything. A lot of chunk damage coming out on the Camille. Dashing forward doesn't do much.
This is stun.
Use half of P. This is just a game of chess right now. It's who's the better strategist, who can get the better vision, who can bait the other person into who. It looks like R5 is almost a checkmate.
One step ahead here. They're gonna start up this Baron. All of blue team is here. Renekton teleport is almost on. TP comes up from the Camille, TP comes up from the Renekton. Alistar hits his combo. There, Shopify Absolute Zero comes down.
Leah's down.
Talia goes down. Vel'Koz doing the deeps once
Renekton's
again.
still full HP.
Able to get the stun onto the Vel'Koz here. Will he be able to pick him up? He's so low here. Yes, Renekton able to find the fight for his team. Xayah getting chased down by this Trundle. Stitch the snare to the Trundle, but it's not going to be enough.
He sees the Penta.
He sees it. He got it in his eyes. He's running down the Camille here. She's going to hook shot away. Renekton clawing his team out once again, able to find a good fight.
They just
Jumping onto
can't
the back
heal
line.
him.
Yeah.
Renekton at this point is... The combo of Death's Dance and Spirit Visage, it seems to be too much. It looks like they might need some healing reduction, which it looks like Caitlyn got. I don't know if she just bought it. She didn't have it that team fight. So, yeah, she realized, oh, I guess I need healing reduction when Renekton and Nunu and Recon and Xayah, you know, 4 healers. Healing reduction is important. 36 minutes in. You know, better that she realized it now than never.
Full builds coming online for this Renekton.
And this is going to be of his power.
Vel'Koz is looking for his death cap now. Gotta go all the way. Red team gonna start up this Baron. Blue team doesn't look like they have a clue.
Yeah, is that a visual bug, or does Alistar just have his ult? Like in the...
That must be visual.
Well, $1 billion company. We got another fight going on.
Pulverize comes down. Camille gonna hit the R on top of the Nunu. He's gonna go down real easy. Another Pulverize headbutt.
Renekton's down.
Yep, onto the Renekton. He goes
this
down.
is
It comes. Can they kill him when he respawns here? Yep, just steps onto the Caitlyn trap. He's taken out real easy. Another headbutt coming in from this Alistar, but Recon able to dash away. Lovers duo doing lovers duo things. It's a bit of Trundle Wall. Here's the quickness. Dash away
Yeah,
again.
that's a level 15 Zaya versus staring down a level 17. Oh yeah, goodbye. There goes all your HP.
Oh,
Not even your
Vel'Koz is doing so much damage. He's stuck up at the Recon, but it's not doing enough. Kaylin on top of the Talia, she goes down real easy. And the base is taken. That's going to be a victory for Recon 5. Very well played by them.
Wow.
Whew. That was a game.
It's just not enough coming out from Roman Esports. Renekton tried his damnness, but at the end of the day, you can't do much at a 37-minute Renekton.
Yeah, I mean he had a huge gold lead.
I will take actually I'll take $2 million because Vel'Koz doubled the damage of the next closest person, that
You are
being Renekton.
joking. Wow. Look at that damage. That's ridiculous. He should not be allowed to do that much damage. Life form disintegration, right? I mean, true damage comes out onto the 3-4 people in the team fight. They're gone. Melted.
So, who is your MVP?
For this match, I want to hear your MVP first. That way I can,
Well, you're crazy if you don't say Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz was the clear reason. I'm not going to say it's the only reason. There was definitely other factors, but damn, that Vel'Koz just put the team on his back and said, let me do all the damage. You guys just worry about keeping Renekton off.
I will agree. One big thing I think able to propel the red team to their lead was the very first skirmish where, after Vel'Koz picks up the solo kill onto the Talia, or we actually see Talia onto the Talia, she's not able to go to the skirmish quick enough, and so red team's able to win that one and pick up the first Drake as well. So
yeah, those solo kills might have been the downfall for Roman, but it happens to the best of us. At the end of the day, a hard fought win. It wasn't given, and
right.
you gotta feel proud for this Camille. You were in a terrible matchup, and you came out and you did your job on Camille late game. You got the stun on the target. You ulted, disrupted. You might have inted in the process, but hey, we're not playing golf. Lower number isn't always the best. But it just can't be enough praise for everybody on the red side. Trundle,
Yeah, Trundle.
Trundle and Alistar, like unsung heroes. You're the ones buying all the wards, getting the vision down, tanking all the damage.
I especially liked Alistar's engages in some of those fights. I thought were really clean.
Yeah, so overall clean victory.